Hi everyone, welcome to the Summer Grill here on Speed Cafe. Thanks to Armour Oil, Tim Hodges with Cameron McConville debating some of the big topics in Australian motorsport at the moment. The next topic to debate, Cam, is the Australian GT split from Supercars. From my end, I think it's sad for both sides. Can you explain what it means?
Yeah, look, it is a tricky one because half, and I can say because I'm involved in GT in a small degree, half of the competitors say we don't need V8s, we just want track time. And for the endurance series, 101 lap races, 3.5, 4 hour events, very difficult to put that into a V8 race weekend. It happened in 2016 at Eastern Creek. The race had to start at 8 o'clock. All the teams had to move their gear across into the V8 pit lane as a temporary setup. Did it work? Did it not? The jury's probably out.
What's your gut feel on that? Did it work?
I don't think it worked. No, I don't think it worked. From the GT competitors are sort of over in the back of the pits. They've got to bring all their regulators.
But even though you look at the amount of TV time they had, I mean, they were on air for the entire race on Fox Sports. Is that not a good thing?
It is. There's no doubt. But you've got to remember the difference with GT racing to V8 supercars. It's not all about commercial end result. It's funded by a lot of it is funded by gentlemen racers that own the cars. They're very expensive cars, so they want to go and get maximum track time. Yet there's pros in it that are also running that want maximum exposure for their commercial sponsors that are on the car. So for 2017, there will be Clipsal, there will be GT presence there, the Grand Prix, which is not necessarily a V8 event. Then they're going to do a couple of their own events, and of course Highlands, and 2 races will be with the Shannon's Nationals, because in 2016 that gave them pit lane garaging, it gave them maximum track time, and they're the main show.
But do you feel for some of the GT competitors who love to work alongside the V8 supercars, I know, yes, you're in the back of the paddock, but you have a big crowd to play before, whereas if you're on the Shannon's Nationals, Bill, it's not quite as big. Do you see that point of view? And going forward, I mean, can this be solved, or is this just going to be a divide that will stay forever?
I can't see it being solved in the short term, Tim, and I think from a spectator's point of view, they love seeing the Ferrari and the Lamborghinis and the Audis out there racing. But you've got to remember if the guys that fund the series, I think, just want to be out there racing and having maximum track time. I'm not convinced that they care how many people are there watching. They just want to go endurance racing and have best bang for your buck. Before
we leave, your GT involvement this year, what is it going to be?
So I'll be lucky enough to be racing in a Lamborghini Huracan, so running that out of Zagami Motorsport, changing from a Ferrari, so still an Italian brand, from a 458 into the new Lambo. So looking forward to doing the endurance series, and of course we'll be at the Grand Prix as well with that one.
Cam, we wish you well with that, and if you're a supercar fan, make sure you catch the GT series at Clipsal 500 or Grand Prix, because that's the only time you'll see them on the same card in 2017. But the good news at Speed Cafe will be streaming all GT races throughout the season, so make sure you watch out for that and stay tuned to Speed Cafe. Here is Jono Webb and Adrian Burgess on the GT State of Affairs.
Jono, you obviously run McLarens in GT and the single car Holden in Supercars. What do you make of this move from GT to really stand more on their own and not be such a support category to V8s?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big change, and probably a little bit of a surprise to myself and many of the other competitors, but look, it is what it is. That's what GT's decided they want to have, and stand on their own 2 feet a little bit more next year. So look, we'll push on and make the most of that opportunity, and hopefully at the end of the day a couple of McLarens come up on front, and it won't really matter.
The way your team operates, is it actually beneficial or a hindrance to have them separate, because you've got a lot going on when they've both been racing together?
Yeah, I think there's some pros and cons to it, definitely. It's going to be nice to be able to divide them up a little bit more and not be tripping over each other on the same weekend, and certainly from my point of view, running back and forward and up and down and everything else. But in probably a negative, going away from Supercars, come on 1,000 people as a crowd, some live TV with Foxtel and Channel 10, there's going to be some negatives there as well. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we'll just try and put on the best show we can with what we've got.
And of course, it was your first year in the GT Championship itself, and you didn't just have a little dabble, 3 cars, big commitment. Is GT a core part of your business now going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all happened very, very quickly, but now it's definitely an integral part of what we're doing and what we're looking forward to in the future. 3 cars was huge this year. I thought if we could get 1 going and see how it works, great. All of a sudden that turned into 3 very quickly, and at the moment it's looking like we're heading in that direction again for next year. So all really positive and exciting times for both McLaren and Tekno in Australia.
Adrian, first year in GT for Walkinshaw Racing this year with the Porsche. It's changing direction a little bit next year with more rounds away from supercars. What's your read on that? Is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing for GTs?
Oh, look, I think it will be something that needs to run out and roll out, and we'll see how it goes. But I think we'd rather probably be on the V8 calendar, especially with the sprint races. The endurance races are hard for the GT category to have on a V8 weekend, so I think they need to be standalone, and they're big enough to be standalone. But I think there could be a good mix between V8 and GT for the sprints. Good mix of good circuits, TV, which is important for everybody. So I think we need to give it a bit of time.
And what have you made of the GT Championship? Obviously, it's a Pro-Am formula. You've run the car really devoid of any external commercial backing. How's it all working as a business for you?
Yeah, as a business, it stacks up. It's not something you're going to go and buy a mansion on Bondi Beach from, but it's been good for us to branch out into another category. We love the long races. We love going racing. The endurance races of the GT Championship are really what we're interested in. We had a reasonable run. Fortunately, we had 2 races that we couldn't compete in because we had a crash the day before, but then we were second in the other 2. So when we were there, we were quick. Looking forward to next year, we've got some exciting things coming for the 12-hour. And then the program next year, we're not at this point in time sure how big it'll be, but it'll be minimum of what we're doing this year.
And you mentioned there the drama you had when there were sprint rounds and enduros on the same weekend. Does that pain change anything about the way you look at the program for next year, whether you do attempt to run both?
It's going to make it hard because we don't want to run the car at a sprint on a Friday, Saturday before an enduro on the Sunday. We've learnt twice this year. You can, if you have a bad day, then it can put you out of action for the Sunday. So our program next year, we won't race our car on the sprint if there's an enduro on the Sunday. And I think you'll find a lot of teams probably adopt the same thing. And Tony and the guys organising the championship really need to listen to that, because people can't afford to build a program, an endurance program, and then you can't take part because of something that's happened in a sprint race. So there's definitely learnings there. Now, whether everyone's listening or not, who knows? But as a team, we certainly will be, and I know a lot of the other teams will be going to it with the same opinion.
Each week, Armour All will be giving away the Ultimate Summer Essentials Pack.
The pack comprises a range of products to keep your car cool and clean this summer.
The pack includes Armour All Wash and Wax Pro Glide, Armour All Sponge, Armour All Protectant, Armour All Air Fresheners, Armour All Cream Cut and Polish, Armour All Windscreen Wash, and Armour All Glass Wipes. You'll also win an Armour All Bucket Esky to keep you cool this summer.
To enter the draw, all you have to do is click on the link in the description below and fill in your details. It's that easy.
We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Armour All Summer Grill.
So you've done a great job of washing your car, and of course right on cue it rains the next day, leaving water spots all over it. Wash and Wax Pro Glide is the next generation of Armour All wash and wax products. The formula enhances water sheeting to reduce the amount of water left on your car's surface. Water beading during and after washing helps water to glide off your car's surface. Armour All Wash and Wax Pro Glide not only cleans and shines, but will protect your car from water spots and marks.